Have you ever wondered what it takes to get to the top of kapahaka? Ko Faith Curtis-Flavell tēnei. I'm hosting alongside Puahaere Vaka and Kiriwaitingi Day. Te AUNAWA is an abbreviation of Ko Au Te Manawa. We're looking into the engine drivers of kapahaka, the masterminds, the creators, the composers, poi creators, the haka creators, the choreography, the tunes. Who does them? You want to know? Come join us at Te AUNAWA. Tērā te purere hua, e rere hua tau ana.
Kia ora, ko Wikitoria Tuhakaraina Simon tōku ingoa, no tainui te arawa mā tātua.
Where did your journey begin in Te Ao Poi?
At a young age, and that was at Tamaki Tours, known today as Tamaki Tours, and that inspiration being guided by all my aunties, my uncles, nene and koros, and of course, Faithy's queer Curtis-Flavell. That's where it began, in Ngāti Rangiwewehi midgets. Yeah. But no, it was a great experience to be able to be free. We were allowed to be free and be ourselves, and there were no barriers or no one controlled how we were to be as a person and be Māori. That's simple as that.
You know, you're well known for poi within Ngāti Rangiwewehi. So what year did you stand for, like, Ngāti Rangiwewehi senior team?
Okay, I was reserve in 1994 and I was only 15 years of age. Back then the age was 16 and I believe the age changed after that, yeah. In the rules of performing arts, and I was supposed to perform on the Sunday. True story, I went swimming because I didn't feel like performing. And I suppose, you know, when I look back and I think, oh, why did they allow me to do that? But they did. I didn't feel like doing it. So you have a Saturday, and if we made the finals, then the next lot of reserves will perform the Sunday. And I was supposed to do that in 1994, but I didn't feel like it. So the pressure was never put on me. That's how it was, and I went swimming in New Plymouth.
Oh my
True story.
gosh. What poi was it that year?
We had done, te ao kapiringa was our waita aringa, te whare whawhau.
Oh, yes.
And then we did, I think it was a poi I didn't like. It's a true story. It was boring.
Wait,
but
was
anyway.
it this one?
Yes, yeah, boring. You know, that robotic. But I have to be honest, you know, and it was lovely but very robotic. Am I allowed to say that on TV? But anyway, I'm being honest.
You're a truthful person.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Skills-wise, who did you learn your skill and your style from?
Many people. I won't just say one. I was inspired by a few. I'll be honest. Lolo would have been one of the ones I used to look up to. She was in Waiherere, and that was in 1992. And I was very inspired by how she moved, especially with poi, because it was different, because we never were allowed to just swing the poi. Our poi was sequenced. So I loved that movement. Auntie Dunn, or Atarita Maxwell, she was a great inspiration for me and for many others. There's so many, and naming them, I'd miss out people, you know, naming them. But I would say from our haukainga, our whānau, our aunties, even koros, Wiramu Williams, I had to stand up and do some movements. He had an idea, and I was doing hanging in concert, and he said, do this beat. And I was only 15, I was doing hanging concert back then. And apparently then, hello, I see that move done by Ngāpi Manawa Wari Te Arawa in 1996. But anyway, whānau, yes. Tātou. But, you know, that's how we created, you know. Yeah. I think more of it happened in hanging in concert for me. That's where I believe inspiration came. It really did.
Now, I've worked with you a lot for creating poi. We know we gave the space to be free, hit the poi here and there. Where did that come from? Like, why did you allow me to be free?
I think that came from our nannies.
Yeah.
Like I say, there was no structure or barriers. We were allowed to be free, to create, to have that open mind. But then they pull us in. They will rein us in and go, no. And to be able to create, well, we are Māori tiki-tikis mokapunas, you know, and when we see our queer, they have fun, and they do, and we're missing that. You know, we're missing that connection with our elders, I would say, just to have a laugh and be cheeky and use tea towels as a poi, scarves and socks as a poi.
Hey, you're well known for that, for grabbing scarves. Any poor mihi, purupuruaki, you're out there.
There's no poise, you'll find some.
That is right. Even a jersey I've taken off somebody to give me.
Give me that.
Yes, and made a long poi. But no, you know, that creativity comes from our upbringing, the love from our people.
Do you watch other pois to be inspired? Like, I'm talking about growing up. Did you watch many of the Wewehi pois, or what actually did inspire you? Was it Maurako? Was it the river?
I'm going to be honest. Wakahuia was my favourite ropu. I grew up watching Wakahuia, and I learned every single poi. Till this day, I know every single poi. And Uncle Tarps and all the whānau and Uncle Wee, they all know that, and Annette. But they were my go-to ropu because they were fun, bouncy tunes compared to, you know.
We're so technical here in Te Aroha, aren't we?
Very technical.
Very structured.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wouldn't change it any way.
It's beautiful.
That's right. I wouldn't change it any other way. You know, the difference with Te Aroha is that we have the best of three worlds. We have hot water, so of course that's where the throne of the poi. That's the geysers. Do you have a geyser? That's where that idea come from. You see geysers, we throw the poi because we live here. We're talking about tarawera, and we're talking about our bubbly hot pools. And then we go around the lakes. Our lakes change. You go Rotoiti, Rotomā, and you go right around to Rotorua. They change, so the movement changes. That's the technique how we create. Then you're going to move further around to cold waters at Awahau, and you're shivering.
Yeah.
And of course, what happens when you're cold? You stay still. So their movements stays with the awa. So we wouldn't be lifting that up. So that is the creativity of Te Aroha people. We're lucky. We have the best of three worlds. Thermal, cold spring water and lakes. And we're lucky. That's why we're good at it. And I will say that proudly. Kia ora.
Very much influenced by our natural surroundings.
Correct.
We all know that Ngāti Rangiwewehi are the technical poi experts here in Te Aroha, and have been forever. And I think that comes, a lot of that comes from you and Haba. What are your hopes for the next generation of poi creators?
So how I see it is that we have ki whānau within our ropu or hapu. Kapa iwi's different, and then, but in saying that here in Te Aroha, doesn't matter where we stand within our ropu, we still connect under our umbrella of our hapu or our iwi. So I think we have our key people that we would kind of connect to and to create and allow you to create, you know. Allow you to create. All us old ones need to get back and watch. Do the dishes.
And
you
do
know,
the poi with your tea towel.
Yeah, and do the poi with your tea towel, because that's where I am now, doing poi with tea towels.
I have a question, and it's about teaching poi. Obviously, everyone thinks everyone can poi in Te Aroha. Not
It's
true.
not the case.
So not true,
It comes
whānau.
down to teaching and knowing how to teach, right? How did you teach, and how did you get people up to the same level?
I would not put that pressure on anybody in regards to teaching. You have to become a counsellor. You have to read their behaviours of their backgrounds of confidence. And so what you need to do is that you need to groom that. You need to groom that. You don't just throw it at them, because that'll scare them. And so that's how we teach, and I know that's how you teach too, Faithy, is that we secure them, we korowai them, and then we'll be able to lead them into the next stage. And I'll tell you what, once you gain that trust with that person and individuals, I've done that many years. I will grab individuals, pull them aside, go out my way, and pure aroha has helped them get to where they are. Because I tell them, you're as good as me, and I'm as worse as you. So this is how it goes. I don't want to look dumb. And in an honest opinion, so it's my job to make sure that you come to a level that we are balanced. We may not be the same, but we're balanced. And we can see and fine-tune that in between. That's how you should teach. Don't just look at a person, they swing a point, oh, no, she's cake. Because I'm seeing a lot of that today, and it hurts my feelings because that mental health is real. And so if we tarnish their behaviours and our own behaviours as a tutor, I'm not doing a good job. I'm not doing a good job as a person, and I'll take off the tutor, but as a whānau and a wahine, it's my job to be able to support our wahine like our nannies did in the old days and steal everyone's kids, you know, because I stole my mokos. But, you know, that's what we're missing. Let's stop decolonise your brain and think back, how would you deal with things at home? What do? We talk about it. We take our time. We don't rush. So that's how you teach. And that's me.
You know, creating poise.
Yeah.
I know you're a backwards creator. That's where I learnt that.
I am.
What inspired you to do it that way?
Because starting from the beginning, everyone stays on it too long. They're always trying to figure out how they're going to start a POI. So what you do is you look at a bigger outcome. You look at the outcome. And you find that solution, and I've always believed finding the solution to a good POI backwards. So how you want to see it at the end. So for me, for example, Pūrere Hua, I just wanted everyone to have 4 POIs going all over the place, different levels. Because that's how white butterflies are. That's how they are. So when they fly around, they're all over the place. So I saw the end and went, we've got to be all over the place. And now Faithie and Hubba are like, me, you know. And so what they did, and they supported me in my ideas and creativity, they followed me. They didn't go, I don't think that's great. And that's what you need.
Pūrere Hua was a great POI. I still remember to this day you creating the different techniques, you know. Because I think when people watch it or play with POI, they think it's just twirl, twirl, twirl. But the techniques you taught me, like, you know, you go over and it's always like 2 fingers to flip it, so it's easier to flip. Yes. You know, those type of techniques are not taught today. You know, people just watch TV and then they think it's just twirl, twirl, twirl. Do you notice that?
Yep.
You know, and I think the techniques, the basic techniques and the 101s that you've taught us, you know, those are the techniques that I carry on teaching now. Oh, and you know that move, the butterfly one, you know, the butterfly. So I remember that she's just outside the wharekai and she's just doing the butterfly. Next minute she's going, what about this? No, I won't tell you where the inspiration from that came from.
No, we can't.
But
it's
you know,
R18.
Those things.
All in handwork.
Handwork. Next.
And an eye coordination.
Movement. No. Sorry. See, this is how you create.
Yeah, this is
how you create. Oh, no, it's in my head.
But is that how you do all the creations?
Yes.
Or all of them?
Yes, I do all my I do. Not all, no, I do. Actually, no, they all got, they all silly. For example, I had Murray and Hohua. Yeah, remember this, guys? And we're at the drop. Anyway, they hop in the river. Yes, they did. They hopped in the river and there was a log. Anyway, they go in there and all you could see is oompa, doobie. So they're oompaling on that log. And of course, we know what happened after that. The log drifted away. And then we did not see them. So with that movement up and down in the levels, that's how we got the Pūrere Hua levels.
Oh.
So that was during a lunch break, which took 2 hours, and poor Dan and Dan are screaming at us because we're still in awa. And that's how we got the idea of the levels going up and down, so you could see the movement of the butterfly moving in the poi through Murray and Hohua at the drop. They're going to go, geez. We tell that story, yes. And that's how that come about. It's your surroundings.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hohua and Murray, yes. Some of the most skilled poi people that I know are men.
Yes.
Do you have any men? You've mentioned Wiremu Williams,
yes.
But I see an influx now of men being more
Creating.
creative and open with their poi skills. Where do you see Te Ao Haka moving forward with men doing the poi?
And men tutoring poi too.
Yes. Now, I think I've been a big support for that.
Yes, you have.
Yes, boys but pois. I kicked that off. I went on TV1 News too at Te Whānau, and I challenged the high school competition, which was my cousin at the time. He was a head at that time in regards to men doing poi. And so I went on TV1 News and spoke about that. But anyway, I have a big passion for our men. There is a thing though with our men, and what I learnt through all our nene and koros, and also with Murray and Hohua, they are my inspiration. Even Dan, he's great. He sees a vision, he has a beat, and then he goes, can you do it like that? And so we're like this? Yeah, but can you do it like this? So it's like, it could be a simple beat.
He does.
And then he does an off beat. So with poi creating, you need that balance, male-female balance.
It takes a team.
It takes a team. And this is what, you can't just have women and you can't just have men.
Yeah.
You got to have both. So you may have a great male creator, but it's good to have a good female to be able to balance that and go, no, we're not doing that. You know, but it,
Because you have to understand the way the female body moves,
correct.
right? You need to know that when we naturally move, we don't have to emphasize the hip, because we step in, the hip goes.
Well, you know, we won't talk more about down below, but there is reasons why our women have a different, well, you know, come on, te kuha. Sorry, whānau, I'm allowed to say that word. Don't edit that out. Kia ora, as you must. But the thing is that we be able to flex our body left and right, and so that's our male side, and our female. It's like patu and maurako, keeping it in, posture, stance, and levels, coming down, breathing. Our men can't do that with a poi, because they have 4. No. So, sorry. I'm so sorry. But the thing is that they have a great creative mind. A great creative mind.
I feel like sometimes not all the poi creatives get, recognitions. Sometimes I feel like, we need to put that on the paper too.
Yeah, we do.
Put the poi creative team on the paper. I want to know who created these pois. I want to know these people.
That's right.
Because the moves that come out,
Yeah, they're dynamic.
yeah.
And it is. No, you're absolutely correct. And I think too, like some of our wahine, like even some of our nannies when I was growing up, no, Carl, they would pull us in, but then we'll go, we'll do it when they're not looking. So I suppose that's how our women are with our men. It could be some of our women feel, how do I put it? I'm going to say it, intimidated. Like our men should know how to create and do poi. That's how it should be. And then it's our woman's job. Well, they can't lure a man in.
Yeah.
Well, some can. But anyway, sorry. But, you're having to have that balance with that creator, if you know what I mean, for our tāne. Yeah, there's a line that they can't cross.
Yeah.
And I say that. There's a line you can't cross, is that you have to acknowledge all our wahine are different, and you can't just say, because I can do this. Yeah, because you're a male. But you've got to understand our female are not all the same to work with, if that makes sense.
No. The variety that we have in Te Aroha, a lot of people ask, how do we maintain it and get better every year? What do you think about that?
You've got to go right back and have a look at a bigger picture on why we are unique, but also maintain ourselves as a people. And because we had so much going on, whakapapa is strong here. We're 52 marae. We can say majority whakapapa to each. So it's about working collectively, and that's how we are in a ropu. Yeah. Whakapapa's important. You work collectively. You know who has it, who don't. You know who's the titao holders and the ones that make the cup of teas. But at the end of the day, we know our place. And I think we don't overstep those boundaries. That's what I reckon. That's what I see. Maybe I've got wool over my eyes, but
No.
that's how I look at it.
I want to know what's in your mind, So you're
It's out the gate. I've got so much going on in my head, and I'm trying to behave. And the other thing, though, is a lot of, like, if something's going on, for example, may have a bad day at work, and you try and want to find an outcome for that. I'll go home, I'll ponder, and I actually create. Like if the moon is like really big, you go, whoa, that's big. And then you see different shapes around the moon. Now I'm going to go in the Rangi Tuhahas. I actually would want to see how I'll be able to move around that moon with a movement, whether it's slow or fast. I don't know, but that's, yeah.
When you create choreography, do you do that too with the poise?
I do.
Because I know when I done the Urutomo Kia one, and we had 3 blocks, you know. So if you come to Oahu, you know that you have 3 buildings that are there, you know. So Urutomo Kia, that's the vision that I had, is that when you drive into the A-town, you know, you see the church. So there was the first block, and then you see the wharenui, and there was a second block, and then you see the wharekai. So that's how I interpreted. You taught me how to do that.
Yes.
And like now listening to you, you're talking about how you get inspired by the moon, the water,
the stars.
the stars, you know. Now I know where I get it from.
Correct. And you know, it does help. It helps with mental health for ourselves as a creator. Because all creators are out the gate. Sorry about it, but you are.
Yeah.
And if you're not out the gate, then sorry, you're not a creator. But, you know, I've got to be honest, you know.
I feel like if you want to learn long poi, you need to learn the figure 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because within the figure 8, it's what? You have all the technical skills that you need. The overlap, the,
yes.
you know, around.
There's 8 parts to the figure 8.
Yep.
Shall I show you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, with that technique, your foot, you're 1. So you're just going side to side. No lifting. And this is the pupu sway. Okay? That's the old nanny sway.
It's in the name. But where did you get Te Mauri o Te Poi, and why did you pick Te Mauri o Te Poi for yourself?
Okay. We don't have 2 hours. So I'm going to...
Crash course. Let's go, girl.
Okay.
Got this.
The idea come from Koro Rangiwewehi Kiripuru and Nene Mere Iwa brought in. It happened in a small little town called Ngāruawahia, and I was sitting at the papakainga. I had, of course I used to smoke then, and Nene Mere Iwa needed a lighter. And that's where it all started. Sitting there, and they said, "E kare," this is Nene Mere Iwa, "Kare, you do the kapaka?" And I was like, "Oh, kia ora, Nan." Didn't know from bar soap. I knew of her, but I was like, "Whoa, they're talking to me. That's Rangiwewehi Kiripuru." And I go, "Aye." She goes, "Yeah, you're from Te Arawai, you fellas all think you're good, eh?" And I was like, "Whoa!" So this is how I met her. I went, "Well, we are good, though." And she goes, "Yep, yous are." And so our kōrero kind of grew from there. Then we accidentally met up together at Rangiwewehi Club Rooms, true story. Hello, they got a disco for the kaumātua. And I see the Nene and Koro again. And so our relationship grew from there. And then I got invited. But because of whakapapa exchange, Koro Huirangi said, "Oh, no, here, koe." And then we started sharing. And he said, "Come to Taranaki next week." Hey.
Next week.
And I was like, okay. So I went, because I was out the gate like that. If I got told, "Come on, let's go to Kuala Lumpur, eh, Faith?" Tell your husband the day off. Anyway, I just go. I go with the wairua, I go with wherever it takes me. So I went there, and that's where it all began. And then they told me, time for someone to teach the essence of poi in another realm, which was to be able to nurture our rangatahi and also our kaumātua to be able to be free. And I never got it back then. I was going, be free. I get it now. And that was to encourage poi to be normalised like maurako. Because everyone was all driven in maurako, and we didn't see much poi wānanga happening. So that was in 2011. 2013, they made a movement. They supported me, Taranaki, and they come to Tarimano, and they built a foundation with other kaumātua that were around at the time, and then said, "It's your job now. Wherever it takes you, stay in the wairua and just be pono to yourself." And that's how Mauri o Te Poi began.
Wow.
Beautiful. What do you want to say to the next poi creators?
Inspiration I'd love to tell them, and also to you two as well, I'm sitting in front of two, is that don't be afraid. if you have that passion and that drive to do different for your future, because my point of view may be different now in today's generation. We've got to move with change. So moving with change moves with ideas, you know. And within those ideas, we've got to hand it over. It's about handing over. I think that's the hardest part for many that don't know how to hand that over.
Succession
Because they're still kind of like, it's my precious. I'm sorry, but it's a true story. It's all mine. It's time to hand it over.
Yeah.
And you got to come to that part in your life to hand over, and also nurture and groom the next generation. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do you find POI to be healing?
Yes. That's why I'm still here. Yeah. POI is very much healing, more so for myself too, and many others. For those that can be themselves behind the POI.
Yeah.
As you always be judged being something else, so they can't judge you when you're good at POI. So I suppose I had to stay there because, you know, anyway, that's another story, and we will cut. No.
How did you get yourself through a campaign and you knew you had deadlines of creating POI? How did you get yourself through that?
Yeah, that's a hard one. But it's also easy to answer. You're having to not think about yourself at that time in regards to it's about what I think and what I know. So I had to learn fast. I had to learn fast to be able to accept what it is. You know, what's done is done, or whatever that situation may have been. But to carry on creating, for example, leaving you, Faithing. I will bring that up. You know, that was a big thing. When I stepped away from Ngāti Rangiwewehi, and that was through my own personal journey. Unfair for me to hand that over in my frustration and the me and the me, you know.
But that's
come on, let's be honest. It is
that's
important
to be able to share that stuff because, you know, growing up, you think you're not like that, and then, you know, you don't know who you are during those times.
That is right.
But I love that you brought it up.
Yes, no one bring it up. And two, I blame all our nannies and aunties and uncles and koros that weren't, you know, that weren't there to protect me, I suppose, in regards to that. And we were spoiled with love and not being growled. And so I had to look at that too, that I had to stand on my own 2 feet and not hide behind those that had groomed me. And I thank them for that because it taught me how to not hand that same mumai down to the next generation. Learn who you have around you and just reach for it. Why hold back? Why wait? Just do it. Do it, whānau. I did, and look where it got me.
Love it.
You know. But kia ora te whānau.
Fire question. Name me your favourite POI and what year?
My favourite POI, year 2000.
Which group?
Ngāti Rangiwewehi.
Demo.
Okay.